Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So we have a fair number of people already joining in, and we'll wait for everyone to join in as well. So welcome to MBA Jam Season 15, which is our Christian edition with SCMHRD. And this is us, students from SCMHRD, who will be giving out tips and tricks to you for your SNAP exam, which is scheduled in just 1 week ahead of it. And so tips and tricks for your SNAP exam, and we'll also answer your queries regarding the college, regarding the GE-PI-WAT process, regarding the SNAP exam. So whatever queries you have, you can just bombard us with your questions in the chat box. And these kind of sessions do not happen every day, so feel free to answer anything, question anything, and we'll be happy to answer everything. So I think we can begin. As of now, we have a fair number of people, so we'll just move forward with the presentation. But before that, we'll also introduce ourselves. So my name is Soumya Nayyar, and I am a first-year student at SCMHRD from the specialization Sales and Marketing. My percentile was 99.3 in my SNAP exam, and I have two other teammates from my team, Jatin and Kiran. So Jatin, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello everyone, welcome to the 15th edition of MBA Jam. We're pleased to meet you. My name is Jatin. I completed my BCom in Marketing Management at St. Joseph's College of Commerce in Bangalore. I then went on to work at Deloitte USI, and here I am at SCMHRD Pune. So that's a little bit about me. Kiran, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Kiran Prabhu. I'm a fresher, I'm a hospitality graduate. I'm currently pursuing an MBA in Human Resources at SCMHRD Pune. My SNAP percentile was 99.4, and here's a bit about myself.
Thank you both of you for your introduction. And as you can see, we have people who have work experience. We have people who are freshers. So again, if you have any questions regarding that as well, just type it in the chat box and we'll be happy to answer it. Also, throughout the presentation, we have some quizzes planned for you. So make sure you are on your toes. We'll share the link for the quiz. Make sure you attempt the quiz so that we can have all of your email addresses with us, because we plan on sharing a ready reckoner, which is a compendium with you all, which will comprise of questions from all the 3 sections that appear in SNAP, and that would help you prepare for the exam as well. So make sure you attempt the quiz and you get the ready reckoner by the end of the day. Also, along with that, once you attempt the quiz, the first winner gets an Amazon voucher worth rupees 500. The second winner gets an Amazon voucher worth rupees 300, and the third winner gets a voucher of rupees 200. So make sure you attempt that. With that, I think we can move forward and talk about the SNAP exam. So as you all know, you might be practicing the mocks regularly, and you know that it's a 60-minute, 60-question paper. And SNAP is basically a speed-based test, which has 1 mark for the correct answer and 0.25 negative marking for a wrong answer. The duration of the exam is 60 minutes, and this time the SNAP can be attempted for all the 3 slots. So we are expecting you must have registered for your slots as well. So let's see in the chat box how many of you have registered for SNAP already. Just give us a yes, yes, yes in the chat box. We see a lot of questions already popping up in the chat box. Okay, we can see some yes coming. Okay. It's good to see that a lot of you have already registered for SNAP, and that is why you are here, and that is why we are also going to give out the tips and tricks as well. So there are 3 slots, 10th December, 18th December, and 23rd December. The time slots for all 3 of them is from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and it comprises of 3 sections: quantitative aptitude, general English, and analytical and logical reasoning. Moving forward, we have the important dates. So SNAP last date has gone by. It was 24th November. So now that you have registered for SNAP, it is time to register for the various colleges. So coming to SCMHRD, the last date for registration is 9th December. So make sure you have registered for the college as well, because at the end of the day, even if you receive a good percentile and you do not register for the college, you won't get a shortlisting for the same. So make sure you register before 9th December. Then the important dates that you should keep in mind are the SNAP test slots, and 10th January, which is the date when the result will be announced and you will receive your percentiles. From 31st January onwards, the GE-PI-WAT process begins for different colleges, and another set of journey begins after that. Again, now coming back to the strategy. So again, it's just more or less 1 week left for the first slot. So 1 week before, if you've already been giving your mocks, it is very, very important for you to revise all the attempted mock papers, for you to understand what are the areas that you are lacking at and what are your strong points. It is also very important to understand your weaker section and then practice your questions from that. Like for me, my quants was not that great of a section for me. So I made sure that I dedicated myself towards that section in the last few days. And then of course finalize your strategy as well, because at the end of the day you need to be very confident as to how you're going to attempt the paper on the last day. Now 1 day before, again, while we are preparing, it's onto our minds that we have to get into some or the other college at the end of the day, but do not panic. 1 day before, there's nothing that you can do extraordinary, because all the preparation that you have done until now, that's going to help you out. So relax, eat healthy, and have a good night's sleep for the last day. But again, also remember to practice all the shortcuts and the formulas, so that you are that all the formulas are on your fingertips. And for that, you can refer to the Ready Reckoner as well, because we are providing you with all the short tips and tricks in that Ready Reckoner. Now coming to the D-Day strategy, you need to skim through all the questions, because again, Snap gives you the leverage to switch between sections, to go here and there. So it's not it is not a limiting paper for you. So you can skim through all the questions and start with your strong area. Like for me, I started with my English section initially, and I got done with it in the first 5-10 minutes of the question paper. So you can start with your strong area and then leave out the difficult part of it for the latter half of the paper. And of course, do not fixate on a single question, because at the end of the day, if you give out too much time to one single question, you might leave out time for other questions as well. And please make sure that you read the instructions on the admit card carefully and carry all the necessary documents and stationery to avoid last minute hassle as well. Moving on. Now coming to the verbal ability section. So again, you must have practiced a lot of mocks, and you must have realized as well that in the SNAP paper, unlike other exams, you do not get a lot of extensive reading comprehensions. All you get is some short 2-3 poetry sentences RCs. So you can practice on that. For SNAP particularly, you can focus on these one-word question answers as well, like antonyms, synonyms, and all of these words. You need to read newspapers regularly. If not the whole newspaper, then at least the editorial of it, to understand what words are important and what are the difficult words that you can expect in the paper. And as we have already mentioned, that you can refer to the Ready Reckoner as well, which will be shared with you. Now, after practicing even a lot for verbal ability, at the end of the day, there might come a word where you might feel lost a little bit. So what you can do is, if you see an unknown word, you can break it down into 3 parts, as the root word, the prefix, and the suffix. And more or less, at the end of the day, you'll be able to figure out the closest answer to it. So that would be my 2 cents on the verbal ability part of it. Moving on, I'll just ask my teammates to take over now.
So a little bit about SCMHRD. So we are one of the premier institutes honing world-class leaders and entrepreneurs. SCMHRD is the first in Pune and one amongst 21 B schools that have accredited with ASESB accreditation. According to our Outlook ranking, we are 3rd best in MBA school in the West and 15th in the top 100 private B schools in India. So here's a bit about our college. If you have any questions pertaining to what our campus is, how we go about it, how is the life at SCMHRD, you can put your questions in the chat box and all 3 of us are ready to answer it. Moving on. So a few courses that are offered at SCMHRD. So like Soumya and Jatin mentioned, so we belong to the MBA core batch. So we have specializations like human resources, finance, sales and marketing, operations, strategy and innovation. But we also provide courses like MBA in business analytics and MBA in infrastructure development and management. These 2 are kind of booming in the industry, with business analytics being used all over right now. So these are the few courses that are offered in the college, and you can have a look at it. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box as well. For analytical and logical reasoning, what we would recommend is to analyze each question or each statement and draw a logical diagram to solve the questions. Please do not make more than 1 or 2 assumptions, because that might lead to confusion and you might take a lot of time rather than attempting other questions as well. Practice 3 to 4 LR questions. That's what we did to brush up our logical faculties, and create shortcuts to solve various questions as well that can help you save time. So what we used to do is, by solving more and more mocks, you can have an understanding of the question just by looking at it. So you can have an idea based on the shortcuts that you create for yourself. That is one thing that we would like to recommend. And the most important thing that all three of us recommend would be to make an alphabet grid as soon as the exam starts. So whenever there is a series question, you can directly use the alphabet grid and solve the question as soon as possible.
Moving on now to the quantitative aptitude section. So, me being a non-engineer as well, this was one section where there was a lot of focus on with respect to my preparation. So how did I approach the quantitative aptitude section? Obviously, mocks are a very important part of your presentation. Apart from the CAT exam where, you're tested more on conceptual understanding, here in the SNAP exam is more about speed. So it's very important to analyze your performance in the respective mock series, whatever, you go through. It's very important to be well versed with approximations. What that means is quick calculations. For example, a fraction is given in the examination. You should be well versed with the percentage conversion of the same. So, tips like this could save you 2 to 3 minutes, which could really make a difference in your paper. Since it's a 60-question, 60-minute examination, it's very important that each minute is utilized effectively so that you can maximize your score and your percentile during the course of the SNAP exam. So, certain times in the previous year, we had a geometry question that was very calculation intensive. So basic calculations are very important to solve. So it's very important that, volumes and cubes and, such formulas so as to tackle these calculation intensive questions. I think it's unsaid that tables, indices, common squares and cubes are something that have to be at your fingertips in order to ace this exam. Like I've already stated before, the focal point of the SNAP exam is speed as well as accuracy. So, in order to gauge the speed of the exam, in order to master that faculty, you'll have to be able to memorize some squares, cubes, and indices. So moving on. So we have a little something for you guys here. This is our SNAP practice mini quiz. So if you want to get your hands on something that is called the Ready Reckoner, which Soumya had already mentioned during the start of our session. So what is the Ready Reckoner exactly? The Ready Reckoner is a compendium that has, tips, tricks, anecdotes, questions, and solutions, from the various sections with respect to the SNAP exam. So personally, in my opinion, when I was preparing for the SNAP exam during the course of the previous year, the Ready Reckoner really helped me push my percentile up from, say, a 90 to a 99 in the actual exam. So it's very important that, you guys get that chance and you guys get to go through this Ready Reckoner. And so that's why if you scan this QR code, you're going to get your hands on the Ready Reckoner. Apart from the Reckoner, what do you stand to win if you take part in our SNAP mini quiz? Obviously, with the D-Day approaching, with the SNAP exam, right around the corner, it's very important that you practice as many questions as possible. And this mini quiz will help you, so to speak, get up to speed with this particular examination. The winners would obviously get Amazon gift vouchers. As you know, with Christmas coming up, it wouldn't hurt to win a few gift vouchers and, sort of gift yourself. So yeah, I mean, you have nothing to lose. It's a win-win for you guys. So please scan the QR code and get started with the quiz.
Also, let's make it a little engaging, and let's, while you guys attempt this quiz, let's just know how many of you have already given CAT and how was the experience now that the exam is over. Let's just have a little bit of chat in the comment section here. We see a lot of questions, and do not worry, we will answer all of them. We have also put the link for the quiz in the chat box. So if you're not able to scan it, you can access it from there. Okay, we can see Shubham is saying it was average, dreadful, CAT was terrible. Okay, for somebody it also went good. Okay, terrible. Okay-ish. Okay, so all in all, the notion with CAT, as every year, it's a very unpredictable exam, and that is why a lot of you have been given the paper as an average exam. The experience was good, the exam went average. Okay. Okay, friendship broken with CAT. Now IFT, SNAP, and NMAT are my best friend. Okay, so all the best for that as well. So you guys can attempt the quiz, and of course, as Jatin just mentioned, you'll be getting vouchers, Ready Reckoner. So all in all, a complete package. And apparently, it should take you an approximate of 3 minutes to solve the quiz, because there are 3 questions. And if you have been diligently preparing for SNAP, you must be able to solve one question in 1 minute amount of time. But even if it takes you a little bit more than that, we'll be happy to give you that as well, because even right now you're in the preparatory stage of it. So we'll just move forward in the next 2 minutes. Until then, you can scan it out and just let us know in the comment section. Given how your cat has went, somebody's written LRDI was on the tough side and the exam was tough. We also hope that at the end of this session, we are able to impart you with enough information about the SNAP exam so that you give your best to it. And that is why we have been asking you to ask out all the questions that you have so that you are well prepared for the exam in advance.
It's also important that during your last mile preparation, you're going through every sort of possible question that could come during the course of this exam. As you know that this year you have 3 attempts at the exam, so you have 3 bites at the cherry to actually make it into your dream B school. And we hope you guys are aspiring to join us at SCMHRD Pune next year. So you have nothing to lose. Please attempt the SNAP mini quiz and sort of gauge your preparation this year.
I think like how Soumya and Jatin mentioned before, getting a hold of the ready reckoner is actually a really good thing, because in this last mile preparation, that is something that is going to really help you all, because it has all the questions that have appeared in the past SNAP examination, and getting a hold of it would actually help you all in practicing a lot. So like we mentioned that you need to practice a lot for your examination because it's a speed based test, so make sure you get a hold of it. So please attempt the quiz so that we can give you the ready reckoner for practice.
Okay guys, so moving on with our session, I think one such topic that garners great interest from aspirants and people alike is the summer placement program at SCMHRD Pune. So this is our latest statistics with respect to our summer internship program that actually started. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear what are some of the companies you dream or aspire to be at. So you can type it in the chat box. We'd love to hear from you.
Let's just see what all are your dream companies, because of course if you are preparing for MBA, you must have one company in mind where you want to work. Okay, somebody said McKinsey. Good to hear that. Wells Fargo. Okay, any more companies? BCG. Okay. MBB startups. Okay.
JP Morgan, HUL, ABG.
Okay, guys, so these are some of the top companies that you have listed out that actually come onto campus at SCMHRD Pune. As you can see, some of the biggest recruiters ranging from Flipkart to Godrej, Licious, Piramal, VI, Perfetti Van Mel, Puma, Aditya Birla, AON, you name it, we have it here at SCMHRD. We had Disney as well. So, we have sectors ranging from BFSI to marketing to HR, operations, every sort of company with every sort of profile that you would dream or aspire to be at would come here during the summer internship program. So yeah, that's a little bit about the companies that come on campus. So let's talk a little bit about the stipends. So the highest stipend this year clocked in at 4.4 lakhs, and the average was at 2.52 lakhs. Median is at 2.4, 80 plus recruiters. And that's a big deal. We have garnered interest from a lot of recruiters, not only across the country, but these are sort of global brands and global companies that are coming onto campus. So that speaks volumes, about the college as a whole. So yeah, moving on. Like I already mentioned, these are some of our recruiters. Here in more detail, you can see a few more recruiters, for our final placements that come onto campus as well. Obviously, some of the companies were not mentioned in the summer internship program, and you can see them here. Obviously, you think about the biggest brands, we have them here at SCMHRD. So the theme is consistent throughout the summer internship program and onto the finals. Guys, before we move on to this slide with the alumni base that we have at SCMHRD Pune, I just want to know in the chat box, how many people have watched Shark Tank India season 1? If you all can respond in the chat box, I'd love to hear from you guys.
If you have watched Shark Tank India, just let us know who your favorite shark was, and if you can see anybody who appeared in Shark Tank India in this slide. If you can, just let us know in the chat box. Let's see how vigilant you are in watching all of these series. Okay, a lot of you have watched Shark Tank India. Ashneer is some of your favorites.
A few of them have also mentioned tag. taxi foods, like you can see Soumya.
Yeah, you guys are vigilant.
Okay, that's great. I can see a lot of names. I can see Ashni, Raman Gupta. I can see Tags Food as well, which is a recurrent theme here. So, as you know, Anish Basu Roy from the batch of 2006, who was the founder and CEO of Tags Foods, actually managed to bag a deal in Shark Tank India Season 1. Apart from Mr. Anish Basu Roy, we also have Vidushi Vijayvargiya, who is an alumni from the batch of 2005. And she actually bagged a deal for her brand, which was Isab Fragrances. So, we boast, some of the industry stalwarts that come in from various sectors. And at SCMHRD Pune, you can see some of these other big names as well, ranging from Mr. Komal Anand from the batch of 1996, who is the managing director at Lotte Havmor. So, having an alumni base that is this diverse and, that occupy top positions in the industry stalwarts, we have another aspect to our college, and that is, the student-driven culture. So one of our committees, the guest lecture team, actually brings in alumni and industry stalwarts so that, they can talk about their experience in the industry. So, we have regularly alumni coming in to college and speaking about their experiences in the corporate sector. So there is a lot of knowledge transfer during these sessions as well. So as you can see, you have Amit Upadhyay, you have Mr. Sumit Jain, Head of India, UK Desk, HSBC. And these are just some of the names. Obviously, in college, we have an alumni wall where every month, the names and faces keep changing on that alumni wall. So it really speaks volumes about SCMHRD Pune. So here's a little bit about our campaigns at SCMHRD Pune. So, if you were someone like me who was preparing for the SNAP exam and who was actually, on their phone when, they were taking these regular breaks across their study hours, then I think it would do you no harm to head over to Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn and follow us at the admissions and PR page, wherein you can catch us, with these campaigns. So we have wordy Wednesdays, so every Wednesday we post, different words. So it helps you expand your vocabulary. Formula of the week gives you a basic understanding of the various formula and sort of helps you revise. Then you have APR Weekly. APR Weekly helps you focus on the next phase of your SNAP preparation journey, and that is the GE-PI-WAT process, wherein you will be tested on, current affairs and your understanding of the same. And then you have Let's Get Logical, again, anecdotes with respect to the logical reasoning section. Stress Buster Stories is where, the students of the current batch talk about how they busted their stress. 99 percentile club is where people have scored a 99 percentile, and, they speak about their experience and how they actually managed to score a 99 percentile in this highly competitive examination. Rookie 7.0 again gives you a taste of the SNAP exam, where we have weekly quizzes, which is now culminating onto Unstop, wherein, we have a full-fledged mock with respect to the SNAP exam. And then Talk the Walk, again, is a podcast series brought to you by us, the admissions and PR team, wherein we speak about, the various courses at SCMHRD Pune. And, we speak about the GE-PI-WAT process as well, and insights as to how to crack that as well. So here are some of our campaigns. If anyone wants to add in anything to this, you all can do so.
Also, we have posted the links for all of our platforms, so you can access them there as well. And a lot of you mentioned that you've given the quiz, so don't worry, we'll be announcing the winners by the end of the session. So now it's time for Q&A. You've already asked a lot of questions in the chat box, so we'll try answering all of them. If you have any more questions, keep on asking them and we'll come back to you.
Guys, fire away with your questions, and also you can follow us on our various handles on social media. We have communications at scmhrd.edu, admissions_pr.scmhrd on our Instagram, admissions and PR on LinkedIn, and admissions@scmhrd on Facebook. You can scan the QR code to look through our link tree, where we have all our social media platforms linked to the same. So please connect with us, and we're open to any and all of your questions.
I think in the chat box we see a lot of questions appearing that what is the safe percentile or the score for getting into SCMHRD. I think what we can suggest is anything above 98 percentile is a safe score or percentile to get a shortlist from SCMHRD for your further processes. That is something that we can tell you from our side.
Rishita has asked how much time is enough for SNAP preparation. So now that you almost have around a week left for the first attempt. So okay, again, it depends which slot have you registered for. Let's just assume that you've registered for all three of them. So again, if you have just 1 week left, the best part is to give at least one mock a day. So that and now that you must have prepared for a lot of other competitive exams, so you must have prepared most of the SNAP syllabus as well. So it's better to go through the syllabus and understand what are the areas that are still left and cover that. And 1 week would be a sufficient time for you to practice one mock each day for you to give out the exam in the best possible way.
I see a question where can you give us some insights on GE-PI-WAT process? So what we can tell you is you can prepare as to for the GE process, you can see what are the current topics that are happening in and around the business. So you can get topics based on that. You can prepare yourself how you can perform in a team. That's what we are looking forward to. In the PI, you can see on basis of what kind of background you are. So for me, I was a fresher. So most of my interview was based on my undergraduate as well. So I belong from the hospitality sector. So most of my questions were related to that. Apart from that, I have done a few internships. So questions based on my internship. Anything in particular based on what you have done before joining the B school can be asked. So you can keep yourself prepared for it as well.
We see another question from Shivansh. I am weak at verbal. Kindly suggest the strategy to improve it in the remaining days. So we've already covered how to work on your verbal section, but I'll reiterate it. So what you can do is you can practice some basic RCs, not very long ones because those are not expected in SNAP. So you can practice some short RCs. Along with that, you can focus on reading the editorial section of the newspaper because that is something which will give you a fair share of idea what words are very much in common and what can you expect. Practice on the synonyms, antonyms, syllogisms and all of this. Along with that, if you need any reference for a book or something, you can refer to WordPad Made Easy. That's a very go-to book for a lot of aspirants. So you can get one-word question and answers. And at the end of the day, even Cracku has been providing you various kinds of mocks and mocks for preparation. So you can access to that as well.
Yeah, so answering Ranok Chawla's question, how is life at SCMHRD? So, a little bit about the college as a whole, we came in from, the lockdown wherein, we weren't able to interact with many people. And coming into SCMHRD, wherein, I have friends from every part of the country, ranging from the north, the south, the east, and the west. So, we are dubbed as a Little India because of our batch diversity. And it ranges from different fields, from Kiran being from the hospitality background, me being from the commerce background, and Soumya being from the arts background. It's very different here at SCMHRD because it fosters so much inclusion. And so life at SCMHRD as a whole, I think we are a health driven campus where the primary focus is on health. So we have a multi-sports arena, we have a dedicated gym, a swimming pool, and various such facilities here at SCMHRD.
We have Shubhankar who has asked us whether are the rookie quiz questions on the same level as SNAP. So yes, the questions are on the same level. We have put questions on the basis so that you can have a practice of the questions that come in SNAP and you can get hold of the difficulty as well. So it will create a balance between your performance as well. You can strategize yourself based on the performance. It will be easier for you to kind of formulate a plan how you can go about on the D-Day. And you can also see what kind of strategy works for you, where you're lagging, what are your weak areas, and what are the topics also you need to work on. So yes, we have made the questions in such way and they are at the same level as the SNAP examination.
So Purvi has asked, what's the process once you get a selection call from the college? So once you receive your shortlisting from various colleges, the GE-PI-WAT process begins. So the first process includes the WAT, which is a written ability test. And the second is the group exercise, followed by a personal interaction. So all of this includes a 50% weightage to the overall score that you obtain throughout the admission process. So your SNAP percentile is reduced to a 50% weightage, and then the GE-PI-WAT process constitutes of the other 50% of it. So that is what the process entails after you receive a shortlisting.
So I see many questions related to the VARC section. So some of the tips that I would like to propagate with respect to the same would be read editorials regularly. So when I was preparing for the SNAP exam, I would read the editorials in the Hindu newspaper on a regular basis. Apart from that, you can refer to Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis, where it speaks about the root word prefix suffix methodology that can sort of expand upon your vocabulary. You can also, try and purchase Wren and Martin, and Wren and Martin is very good with respect to the grammar portion of things in the SNAP exam. So.
Harsh has asked, ma'am, can you please explain the interview process? So for me, like my interview process was mostly on my undergraduate, what I have done before joining the B school, what kind of motivated me to pursue an MBA, and if my specialization was clear, I wanted to do it in human resources. So why I had to, made that shift from coming from a hospitality background, why did I choose to do an MBA also? And I had done a few internships before coming to the B school, so my questions were based on that as well. So your process or your interview process will usually revolve around these questions: what you have done. If you have work ex, you can be asked about the projects that you've undertaken during your tenure as well. So you can expect questions based on what kind of profile you are, and it depends from interview to interview as well. Soumya, if you would like to add on, or anybody.
I think you've covered a lot of it. A lot of students have asked about the cutoff. So again, that's one very major concern while you're preparing for exams. So again, if we talk about the cutoff for the top colleges, you need to understand that every year the cutoff varies. So we cannot be assured as to what the cutoff would be for this year. But again, you can target a percentile of around 98 and above to target the top colleges, and particularly to target SCMHRD as well. So anywhere a percentile of 98 percentile and above would be safe enough to score. Again, we aren't sure again as to what the cutoff would be. So, but to be on a safer side, 98 percentile would be it.
Sai has asked, do we have sectional cutoffs? So no, you make hold of that advantage in SNAP. You don't have sectional cutoffs, so you can play on your strengths and you will kind of clear the examinations as well. So make sure that you attempt all the questions in all of these sections, and make sure that you focus on getting the questions correct rather than attempting all of them. I think that is the strategy that I would recommend. So you can make use of not having a sectional cutoff and try and make sure that you attempt as many questions as possible and getting them correct.
Pratik Hiras asks, how do you choose your specialization? I think, Pratik, in my case, when I joined SCMHRD Pune, I knew that I would pursue sales and marketing. And why that was the reason was because, in my BCom days, I specialized in marketing management. So it was a very natural switch for me. Maybe Kiran and Soumya can give their insights as to why they choose their particular specializations respectively. But for me, I felt that sales marketing is my passion and it's something that I want to do. So on my end, I would just like to say that follow your passion, follow your dreams, and take up the specialization accordingly.
I was just going to mention about the specialization part of it, because we do not see a lot of questions about specialization in the comment section. So we come from a diversified background. Jatin and I are from marketing. Kiran here is from human resources. You can ask us questions about the specialization as well. And if you have questions about any other specialization, whether it is finance, operations, business analytics, IDM, you can also ask us questions about the same. And as Jatin mentioned his take on marketing, I took up marketing because I actually come from a creative aspect of it because of my diversified background. So that is why I wanted to take up marketing, because that is some place where I can put my creative brain to it. So that was my reason. Kiran, would you like to share some light on it?
Yes, so like Soumya mentioned, my background was based on hospitality, and I had done an internship that was focused completely on a project based on human resources and learning and development. So that is exactly why I chose to pursue an MBA in human resources. So you can have a background completely different, but you need to have, something related to why you want to choose a particular specialization as well.
Also, someone has asked, how's the life in SCMHRD? So again, coming to the campus life, now that everything has opened after COVID, it's a very great experience to pursue MBA in an offline mode. And that is why even right now, as we are taking this session, we are taking it on campus. So again, the feeling of being on campus and doing everything in the physical mode is not explainable as of now. It's just you come on campus and you would realize the benefits of it. And of course, coming to SCMHRD, there are a lot of things when it comes to the sports part of it, when it comes to the extracurricular part of it. So there are a lot of things on campus which keep you engaged and busy throughout the day. So all in all, if I sum it up, for me, life at SCMHRD is very packed and happening, and all in all, it's a good one. So Jatin and Kiran, would you like to share something?
No, thank you, Soumya. I think you answered that question pretty well. I can see a few more questions on, the student exchange program. So Ruchi speaks about the students with respect to the student exchange program. SCMHRD ties up with colleges across the globe, and we have the London School, Berlin School of Economics that we've tied up with. So you have opportunities to study a semester abroad as well.
I saw a question which said that does WorkX be a concern in the interviews? So no, WorkX does not be a concern in your interviews. It's just that you need to kind of justify why you're pursuing an MBA and what is the kind of explanation you have, what are the projects you've undertaken in your organization. You can be vocal about it. What have you learned and what made you choose pursuing an MBA in a particular specialization? So no, having an WorkX will not kind of be a concern in your interview at all.
Somebody has also asked, does profile matter at the time of the interview? So again, Kiran also kind of shed light on the similar lines only. So at the time of the interview, again, it doesn't matter if you are an engineer. It doesn't matter if you come from an arts background. It doesn't matter as much if you are a fresher or an individual with work experience. All that matters is that it's a personal interaction round. So what is important is that you have something to speak about yourself. And at the end of the day, you know who you are. So the panelists genuinely want to know what kind of an individual you are, genuinely want to know you better, to understand how your goals align with the college and how your goals and how serious you are about your goals and your career. So it's very important to understand yourself first so that you are prepared for the interview better. It doesn't matter what kind of a profile you come from. It's just you need to have something to speak about when it comes to asking questions regarding you and your personality.
Rakshit asked a question whether about a gap year in your profile. So Rakshit, I think what we can tell you is that having a gap year is not an issue. You just need to justify why there was a gap year. What have you done in that gap year? Anything that has helped you to kind of upscale your profile is something that you need to look forward to. A proper justification as to why there was a gap year is the only thing that you need to focus upon. Otherwise, you can give a reason, like you mentioned, you had a family business. That can be a reason. You just need to justify it properly, why as to there was a gap year, and you're good to go from our side.
Someone has also asked, what are the expected group activities for GE-PI-WAT? So the group activities vary every year. So last year for us, we had a creative image that was displayed to us, and we were asked to think of it in a creative way and form a solution out of it. Again, some years we have also seen that there are various industries are given, and then we have to choose one industry and pick out a problem on our own as a group and then discuss the solution out of it. So again, nothing can be said of sure as to what you can expect this year. But one thing we can expect is that all of it is going to be on the creative aspect of your brains, and not something wherein you would be you will have to actually think out of the box and come up with creative solutions at the end.
There was one question by Vishwesh which said that without any WorkX, how do I know what area do I want to specialize in? So neither I nor Soumya had a WorkX before joining the B School. But if you have any internships or if you've done any courses, that is one way you can kind of understand where your interests lie. Or even if you're not sure about it, you can join the campus. You have a first semester to decide which kind of specialization you want to choose. You can have a look at all the kind of subjects and specializations that we have, or what SCMHRD offers. You can get in-depth knowledge. You can speak to the faculty, your seniors, and even your batchmates about it, get a whole knowledge about whatever is happening in the industry, and then have a proper decision as to what specialization you can choose. So whether or not you have a WorkX, it does not really matter. So you can actually, that we have students in our batch also who have selected a specialization and were still confused and have changed specialization after they've gotten to know about the other specialization or probably where their interests lie.
Janvi has asked, how is SCMHRD for marketing? So a lot of students have this notion that just because SCMHRD has HR in it, so the college is extremely good for HR, but not as good as for the other specialization. But again, we are happy to break out the myth that you guys have. It is equally good for marketing as well and other specializations as well. Even in our summer internships and in the final placements last year, we could see that the placement record for marketing and for HR and for other specializations stood at a similar level. And for marketing particularly, we have one of the best faculties here who teach us in a way wherein the knowledge is not at all theoretical. We are given practical knowledge as well. And even while we get to be a part of various activities, various committees, there is a lot of marketing and sales involved, which gives us an on-ground experience. So all in all, for me particularly, marketing has been a very good experience after I've come to SCMHRD. Jatin, would you like to add on to something?
Yeah, so I would actually like to talk about, the score versus percentile question that everyone's been talking about. So obviously we can't really comment on the score versus percentile because like Soumya already mentioned earlier, that, we can't, because every year the batch of students that write the SNAP exam changes. So, since that was a question that was predominantly asked, I would like to address the same. So it depends on, the profile of students that sit this year and the competition level of the same that will determine the cutoff percentile as well as the raw score needed. So you can use, previous year scores and percentiles to sort of determine what would be appropriate this year, to give you an idea.
Simran has asked whether she's completed a BBA in 2021 in marketing, but now she's confused and wants to change it into HR. So it won't create a problem. Like I mentioned before, you need to have a proper justification as to why you want to pursue a particular specialization. I think that's about it. They just want to know, are you sure about the particular specialization? What are your thoughts about it? What do you understand by that particular specialization? Do you have any knowledge about it? That's what is more important, and I don't think it should be a problem even if you want to change it right now.
Ronak has asked, can you please give me certain tips on how to prepare for the GE-PI process and how to make a great CV for the process? So as I'd already mentioned, it is very important for you to understand yourself for the PI process of it. And also we are starting with our new campaign, which is GE-PI-WAT diaries and conversations on our Instagram handles. So you can access that as well through our handle and understand how the others gave their GE-PI-WAT process and how was it for them. Particularly for the PI part of it, again, this is going to start in the month of February. So you still have enough time. Get your hands on some work that you can do, some internships which you can talk about during your interview process, or some NGO related work about which you can talk about in the interview process, or something for which you are actually passionate about. So make sure you have points to talk about yourself. That's what matters at the end of the day. So that's how you can prepare for your GE-PI-WAT, and you can access our social media handles for the GE-PI-WAT diaries to get more insights on that as well. Nitin has asked, does SCMHRD have official international placements? Yes, we are proud to share that we do have international placements. And last year, the international placement, the highest package for the same stood at 61 lakhs. So that's how the placements soared for it. So we do have international placements with a very good package as well.
So Divyansh has asked, as a fresher, how can we make our profile attractive? So me being a fresher, I did, because my specialization was sure, I wanted to pursue human resources. So you can take up courses based on what specialization you want to pursue, or anything in general that can help you upscale your profile. So you can do courses or internships that can help you learn more about a particular specialization that you are interested in, or anything in general that you can, make hold advantage of, upscaling yourself as well. So we also have a question, is SCMHRD only meant for HR? So no, that is a misconception that a lot of people have because of the name. But like Soumya mentioned before, we have other specialization like sales and marketing, finance, operations as well. So it's not just meant for HR. We have other specialization and they are equally doing well as HR.
As you guys have seen the recruiter slide as well, we have companies ranging from different sectors, and sales and marketing also being a sector drawing in some of the biggest names in the corporate world. So, I think it's a myth that SCMHRD is only meant for HR, coming from someone who is pursuing sales and marketing. I think Soumya can back me up on that as well.
Yes, definitely. Even Purvi has asked a question like, what are the different clubs and societies in SCMHRD? So, coming to the campus life of it, there are 14 different committees and clubs that are on campus. And when you join the campus, you get to know about all of them and join and get the feasibility to join them as well. So, we have a lot of events being conducted on the campus time and again.
We also have various guest lectures wherein some faculties or some alums come around and speak to us. So it gives us a very healthy outlook as to what the industry experts are looking for. And all of these guest lectures that occur on campus provide us insight about the industry experiences as well. So moving back to the clubs and committees, of course, there are 14 committees on campus, whether it is the corporate relations team, admissions and PR team, Samatva, and all of these committees wherein you can
all in all, once you get on campus, you would understand a little bit more about it and you get to experience and enjoy it a little more.
So Gunjan has asked whether does SCMHRD have various courses apart from whatever we offer. So like we mentioned in the PPT before, we have courses apart from HR as well. She also has another question as to how we can get the Ready Reckoner you mentioned. So if you've attempted the quiz that we had during our presentation, you've mentioned your email ID. So we'll be sending you all the Ready Reckoner through your email IDs as well. So by the end of today or tomorrow, we'll be sending across the Ready Reckoner, which will be very helpful for you all to practice in the upcoming snap attempts. And I think that is one of the best things that you can get. And I think if there is anything, Soumya, Jatin, you want to add?
Nothing from my end. I think Kiran has covered almost everything. Priyambada has asked, I'm comfortable with the VA and LR section, but I'm not able to score in quants. Please help. What should I do to at least get an okay score in quants? So my quantitative section was very weak. So I had to work a lot on it. So it's very important to understand what are the weaker sections in quants as well. So there is arithmetic, there is algebra, there are a lot of sections that are out there. So you need to understand where you can do fairly better and which are the ones that are actually going worse. So you have to understand that and then keep on practicing questions, because it's very important. If you have exhausted the material that your coaching institute has provided you, you need to switch to YouTube. Start watching videos, start practicing questions from there. If the YouTube part of it is exhausted, then you can access extra books that are available out there to practice your section. And then only you'll be confident enough that whatever question comes your way, you'll be able to answer it. So at the end of the day, practice is something that you should do completely and dedicatedly as of now for the quant section.
So Gunjan, like I see you've missed the link of the quiz. So what we can do is we can put the link again in the chat box for you to attempt the quiz so you can get the Ready Reckoner as well. That's what we can do from our side.
Mohammad Asif says, how difficult is it to switch our job sector if we want to change our current sector post MBA? So Mohammad, I had that same question, coming from Deloitte, where I previously worked at in the audit sector. I felt that sales and marketing was really my calling, and that's when I decided to actually shift from the financial sector to sales and marketing. And I think the switch was very seamless. It all depends on your passion and your will to learn. And if you have the zeal for the same, then please go ahead and do so. Do something that you're actually passionate about.
Anurag has asked, does SCMHRD have hostels? Yes, so the college has a residential campus, and if you get to be a part of the college, you get to be a part of the hostels as well.
So Saurav has asked, is the admit card live for snap test? So yes, for the first attempt, which is on the 10th of December, the snap admit card was live on the 5th of December itself. And for the second and the third attempt, the snap scorecard will be live on the 10th of December. So you can go on the official website and then you can get hold of your snap admit card as well.
Someone has also asked if the cutoff is same for infrastructure development and HR. So again, we have three basic bifurcations, which is business analytics, infrastructure development and management, and MBA core. So when you join the college through MBA core, you get to choose the specializations, which is HR, finance, operations, marketing. But all in all, you have different cutoffs for the three branches that we have, which is the business analytics, infrastructure development and management, and MBA core.
So someone's asked in the chat, what is the best attempt strategy? Well, with respect to the strategy, I would like to tell you about my, strategy last year. So since I'm very good with VA and LR, I would try to complete those sections as quickly as possible. And I was done with the VA section in a mere matter of 7 minutes, and I completed the LR section in around about 20 minutes. So, that saved me a lot of time, gave me 30 minutes for quant, which is my weak area. I haven't, touched quant since the 12th grade. And I come from a non-engineering background as well. So, that strategy really helped me up my game and score that 99 percentile. So make sure before you sit for the paper, you devise a strategy in your head with respect to your strong areas and weak areas. And that only comes if you attempt mocks regularly and you try to sort of ascertain where your strong areas and where your weak areas. So complete your strong areas quickly and then move on to your weak area was my strategy. So, yeah.
So Atin has asked how much weightage does SCMHRD give to past ACAT. So equal importance is given to everything that you have done before joining a B school. So like we mentioned before, your SNAP score as well as whatever score you have obtained in your GE-PI-WAT process is given equal importance. So your past ACATs will also hold equal importance in your PI as well. So you can make sure that you have proper documents for it as well.
Abhi has asked what can be the order of attempting the three sections to increase the accuracy. So again, while you will be also practicing your mocks, you'd understand which is your stronger section and which is your weaker section. So it's always advisable to go for your stronger section first, so that you have enough time for the weaker section. So whichever stronger section that you have, you can get done with it in the first 5-10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then you'll have around 45 minutes for the other two sections. So it's better to attempt the stronger section first, and it would differ from individual to individual.
So Sahil has asked how to prepare for GDPI. So for GE, we have GE in SCMHRD as a process. So for GE, what you can do is it changes from year to year. So Soumya had explained the GE that we had last year. So what you can do from your side is to have a look of whatever is happening in and around the world at that point of time. It can be an abstract topic. It can be anything related to whatever is happening. So make sure you have proper knowledge about whatever is happening, and make sure you're quick in answering the questions as well if it is something abstract. So we had a picture that was shown to us last year, and we had a minute to think, and we had to express what we understood by that picture. For PI, what we can recommend is to focus on whatever you have done before joining a B school. So for me, like I mentioned before, I'm a fresher, so most of my interview was based on my undergraduate experience and my internship experience as well. So you can prepare yourself based on whatever you have done before joining the B school.
So Shagun Katoj says, can we clear the exam in 16 or 17 days? So Shagun, I'd just like to say, don't rule out anything from the realm of possibility. Anything is possible. It's about your preparation. It's about how you understand, topics conceptually, and then applying that with accuracy and speed. And if you're able to do so in 16 or 70 days, it's well and good. You can crack the SNAP exam. So don't give up. Keep working hard towards your goal. It's just a few days away, and gauge your preparation through mocks. That's the advice I give you.
Anubhav has asked, I am a UPSC aspirant, MBA is my backup. If interviewer asks me, will you try for UPSC again? And if I say yes, will it disappoint them? See, again, it does not depend on what the interviewer is going to think, if he's going to be disappointed or happy with your answer. You have to be true in your answers, and that is very much visible when you are answering the questions. So you need to be very true to yourself. If you want to give the UPSC as an attempt, you need to be true to yourself as to why do you want to give it, and if it's a correct call for you or not. If you are convinced with yourself, at the end of the day, you will be able to convince the interviewer as well. So you need to be first true to yourself, and then prepare for the interview round, because at the end of the day, you need to be true.
Purvi has asked, is MBA really hectic as is usually heard? So what we can tell you is life at SCMHRD, what do we do every day? So what we have is we learn through the experiences that we have. So in classes as well, like Soumya mentioned, we have a lot of experiential learning that happens through case studies. We have a lot of interactions with alumni, or any person who has industry expert is welcomed at SCMHRD. We gain knowledge from whatever their experiences have. Like we mentioned about the committees in the college, they are another part of our college life as well. So we have different committees that can help you build up a better person before you join the corporates. So what we look forward to is the experiences and the different learnings that we get from our everyday life at SCMHRD. So for us, it's not hectic, it's really enjoyable, and we really look forward to the different kind of experiences that we have every single day.
So somebody has asked that they've done their BBA in marketing and they want to do their MBA in HR. So would it be a problem? So again, when it comes to the interview round of it, it might happen or it might not that they would ask your specialization or which specialization you wish to take. So again, if you are switching from marketing to HR, you would have justifications for the same in your head as well. So it's better to convey that to the interviewers while in the PI part of it, so that they also understand as to why do you want to switch. And if it's a justified reason for you as well, I think they would also understand that.
So I think a general tip with respect to the GE-PI-WAT process as well that I would like to give everyone is try to read more, read as much as possible. In the final stage of my preparation journey, when I was preparing for the GE-PI-WAT process, I would start reading a lot of novels in my free time, after the entrance exams were done. And, try to brush up on your communication skills, and how well you speak as well matters in the PI round. So apart from whatever Soumya and Kiran have covered earlier, I think the panelist is also looking at how good of a fit you are for SCMHRD. So make sure you tailor your answers in accordance with the same, and we would love to see you here at SCMHRD next year.
So just one last question that we take up is SCMHRD good if I'm aiming for BFSI sector? So yes, it is good because we have companies coming on campus from the BFSI sector as well. So all in all, the placement part of it would be very good for you. So I think we can wrap it up because we have exhausted our time as well and answered a lot of questions, and we saw a very engaging audience. So if at all you guys found it helpful and beneficial for you, let's just see a thumbs up in the chat box and let's just feel happy that we were able to impart you a little bit of help. So if you found this session informative, helpful, anything, just give us your feedback in the chat box. Okay, we do see a few thumbs up. It's good to see that. So thank you everyone for joining in for today's session. If you have any more doubts, please feel free to mail us or connect with us on our Instagram handle, and we'll be happy to answer all of your doubts. The Ready Reckoner, again, you would receive by the end of the day, and the Amazon vouchers would be delivered to the winners in a few days. And coming to the winners, Kiran would be announcing the winners in a while. And so do not worry, do not hassle. You will receive the Amazon vouchers in a few days. Kiran, over to you.
So the winners for today's quiz are Satyam, Abhishek is the second winner, and the third winner is Parikshit Narayan. So congratulations to all of you all, and thank you Surya sir from Cracku, for kind of conducting a session so that we can help from our side the aspirants as to how they can prepare themselves for not just SNAP but also the later processes, and some few tips and tricks that we can give from our side as well.
So I think we would wrap it up, and all the best for your exams. We hope to see most of you throughout the GE-PI-WAT process that is lined up for you. So all the best. Make sure you give your best for the exam and prepare well. And that would be it from our side.